Let me go to Stuart. He's in Ohio, and he's a Trump supporter. Hi, Stuart. How are you?
I'm pretty good, Glenn. How are you doing?
I'm very good. Welcome to the program.
I just wanted to understand from your perspective, and it's one of the things that's maddening to listen to from Ted Cruz or Marco Rubio, is that it almost is like these concepts have been hijacked from the left and the right, Democrats and Republicans. That conservatism must be Republican, that all things conservative are now Republican and all things liberal must be Democrat. We don't talk about ideas anymore. We don't actually look at specific ideas and talk about them in a rational manner. That is why I'm supporting Trump, not because I even care that he's a good president. It's because I want all of the people in Congress to be re-voted for. I want them all gone.
Right. Well, that's not going to happen.
I want this country to be reshaped.
Yeah, well, that's not going to happen. So what are the ideas?
It's not going to happen. None of that's going to happen.
What are the ideas that Donald Trump is talking about that
you
say
matter.
It's infuriating? I was just excuse me, hang on just a second, Stuart. I'll let you talk. When I was out this weekend, Carly Fiorina, Mike Lee, me, and Ted Cruz, all we spoke about was the Constitution of the United States, the biggest idea in American history. So what are the ideas that you're hearing from Donald Trump that you embrace?
To the Constitution that are outdated, that need to be looked at. It all needs to be looked at because
the Constitution
justice doesn't work anymore. The justice system doesn't work anymore.
Holy crap!
The way we
no
elect
wonder.
People
No wonder
doesn't
you're
work
a
anymore.
Trump supporter.
Okay, so
no wonder.
all right, so you say the Constitution is outdated and needs to be replaced.
I didn't know. Well, you're not listening to my words. I didn't say the entire Constitution is out, but
what
certainly
parts?
after
What parts of
230 something years.
Well, let's talk about ideas.
Let's pick off some amendments. Which ones do you want gone?
Let's talk about real ideas and let's get specific because let's have that dialogue that you want to have. Which parts of the Constitution need to be replaced?
Okay, let's talk about the justice system. Does the justice system represent justice for the people? Does it actually? What I'm asking you is, you want to fix it. You're stating a problem. I got it. When you want to fix it, we're talking about the Constitution. So what part of the Constitution, because you just said parts of it are outdated and don't work. One of the things that our forefathers forgot to do, because I don't think it even occurred to them as the kind of men they were. One of the things they didn't put in the Constitution was anti-corruption laws. And I'm talking about when you look at how a prosecution and a defense actually represents somebody in the justice system. It is corrupt on both sides. Prosecutors care about wins. The defense cares about getting their client off. Nobody cares about is honesty and justice.
Okay.
You keep stating the problem. What is the solution?
Yeah, let me be specific. You're voting for Donald Trump, and so you know. Hold on just a second. Hold on. I don't want your opinion, because you're a supporter of Donald Trump. I can tell you how Ted Cruz is going to fix things. Tell me specifically what Donald Trump has said how he's going to fix those things.
First of all, we both know that neither Donald Trump or Ted Cruz has the personal ability to change the Constitution themselves.
So I understand that. But when I'm asking you, I got it, Stuart. I got it. So here's what I'm asking you, though. What is it? Because I don't hear anything from Donald Trump except we're going to build a wall. And it's going to be a beautiful wall. And we're going to get... Listen to me, Stuart. Listen to me, Stuart.
Or that Ted Cruz is the answer. Ted Cruz just represents another Republican in office who owes people.
No,
he doesn't. He's been in office for like 2 years.
Who supports the super PACs? Who is actually donating to those? The Koch brothers?
No. The Koch brothers don't like him.
Koch brothers
don't
like Ted Cruz.
Stuart, you're nothing but a soundbite. I thank you for your call. Hang up on him, please.
No, they're not.
It's not. I mean, stupid. You want to talk about ideas? Let's talk about ideas.
They don't have any.
No, you know what it is? It is the unnamed Republican syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
You are using Donald Trump as a vessel. You're looking at him and saying he's going to shake it all up, and then we're going to get justice. No. This man doesn't owe anybody. This man owns everybody. This man has been for 30 years buying everybody. You think it's corrupt? He has admitted he has bribed people. That's the way business is done. You give to campaigns, you get what you want when you call. That's bribery.
also illegal.
It's also illegal. But you're right. Nobody says anything. So why is that? Because everybody's getting rich off of it. Ted Cruz is not getting rich. Mike Lee is the poorest man in the Senate. Why? Because he stands for the Constitution of the United States of America. That's why. Because he doesn't want anything from anybody. He's not going to change his opinion when it comes to the Constitution. They've almost bankrupted the man. Tell me who is buying off Ted Cruz. Help me out. Who's buying him off?
Certainly not the Koch brothers.
If anybody's buying him off, he wouldn't be the least popular man in the Senate.
This is so ridiculous.
I mean, it is so ridiculous.
And I love the justice system argument. First of all, I would have loved to keep the guy on the phone long enough to find out what crime he was wrongly accused of, because you knew that was coming at any point in that phone call. Back me up on that, Jeffy. That was the end of that phone call. At some point, we dig deep enough, there's some crime he or a family member has been convicted of that was wrong. That was definitely coming there. But beyond that, number one, name the better justice system. Again, are there problems with ours? Yes, of course there are. However, there's no better one that has ever been come up in human history. Do you want justice from
that's the problem.
From another country? And the problem with our justice system, Glenn, is that we are not sticking to the constitutional principles of it. It has nothing to do with it's not the Constitution's fault. It's when we ignore the Constitution that we have problems with these systems.
That's the problem. That's why you don't have to change anything.
Yeah.
You have to apply the Constitution. That is the old dusty document. That whole concept came from the progressives and Woodrow Wilson. First thing, Declaration of Independence doesn't make any difference. It's a document completely irrelevant. It's the Constitution, not the Declaration of Independence. Not true. Not true. All of our founders said the Declaration of Independence is the cornerstone and foundation unto which the Constitution framework was built. So you cannot separate those two documents. The first thing they said, Declaration of Independence is outdated. Then they said, Woodrow Wilson, the Constitution is outdated and needs to be disregarded because it didn't see modern times. Then the next big progressive, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, said, let's change the Constitution to a charter of positive liberties. That's what's being taught in our school, that it's old, dusty, irrelevant. We're a young country. We're a very young country. We have the oldest surviving Constitution in the world.
By far.
By far. Why? Because for 120 years, it was actually used. And it is so powerful and so strong that the other 120 years, it's just been coasting downward. When you want to talk about principles, I don't want to hear anybody's campaign promises. I don't care. I don't care. You're going to give me that, or you're going to do that, you're going to do that. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. When it comes to the Constitution, that's all I want to hear. We're going to go back to the Constitution. We're going to run this thing constitutionally, period. If it's not in the Constitution, we're not doing it. That's the only fix. And by the way, don't buy into the lie that chaos will fix things. I just want somebody to go in and throw them all out. Well, first of all, that's not going to happen. And nobody's going to do that.
Donald Trump certainly can't do that.
Donald Trump can't do it. Donald Trump won't do it.
He will do a good job at throwing out every good Republican senator left as they lose all of their reelection campaigns.
The president can't throw out anybody in Congress.
And the other thing that's amazing, show me his record of deal making. He's a deal maker. Show me his record.
He's the one saying that.
Yeah, he's a deal maker. Last night he gave a speech with the Republican Party seal on the podium.
Was that the one where he was
at his place at Mar-a-Lago? He took the Republican seal and put it on the podium. So don't tell me he's an outsider. And one last thing. That's why constitutional principles. He started with, I'm so sick and tired. Since when is conservatism Republican? Not talking about conservative. I'm talking about the Constitution. And that's what's so frustrating. Run to the Constitution, America. That has nothing to do. Why is Ted Cruz? Is he for Is he against gay people, Stu?
No.
Okay. Well, he's not for gay marriage.
I mean, he's for the states deciding that, yes.
Oh, well, that's just a convenient little loophole.
No, it's constitutionally applied because he's saying
constitutional.
It's not, the 10th Amendment does not make the federal government able to control
my marriage law. He wants my marriage not federally regulated. My marriage. I'm straight. Why? Because it's not a right in the Constitution. Healthcare. Why was he against Obamacare?
Because it's not enumerated in the Constitution.
Was he for Romney care?
No, he was not.
Was he for Romney care in Massachusetts?
I mean, he wasn't, no. But, I mean, that would be, at least
to the state.
He was,
arguable.
He was not for it and say, hey, that's a good idea.
Right.
But he supported the people of Massachusetts to say, I want government-sponsored health care because it's their right. According to the Constitution, that belongs to the state, not to the federal government.
They want to kill themselves, they can.
When we talk about, everybody's talking about all these problems. The problem is the government. I just want somebody to throw all those guys out and get new guys in. I don't. I want to reduce their power so much that they have no effect on my life. I'll answer to my state and my local government. That's constitutional. That's what Ted Cruz is saying. Government is the problem, not the Republicans, not Hillary Clinton. How shallow have we become? If I hear one more Republican, one more conservative say to me, we got to beat Hillary Clinton. Is that your principle? Is that how shallow and rotted from the core you are? That what you're fighting for is to keep Hillary Clinton out of office? How about fighting for a principle? Like the government is the problem because the government has grown so far beyond the Constitution that it takes somebody to come in and break it apart and say, that's unconstitutional, we're getting rid of that. That's unconstitutional, we're getting rid of that. And return the power to the people. That's a big idea. That's a principle. What you're looking to do is just get somebody else to be another dictator to say, oh, well, through executive order, I'm going to do this. And this time it's my side doing it. I don't want any of that. I want the government restrained.
And that is, of course, the big idea. Can I real quick focus on the small idea?
Yeah.
The idea that a Trump supporter could call us up and say what he really wants are specific ideas talked about in a rational way. The two things that Donald Trump is completely incapable of doing, and then when you ask him for the specific ideas, he says, it doesn't even matter what the ideas are.
It's crazy.
I mean, that guy was the perfect Trump supporter. Yeah. He exemplified every problem with what's going on right now. The idea that you can call up and say those things about a guy who is completely incapable of achieving them, even in one interview, let alone a presidency.
I don't know why he's listening to this show for this reason. I have been consistent from day one. We want a restoration of the Constitution, a return to the founding principles. You call up on this show. I can understand it on other shows. You call on this show or Mark Levin's show and say, the Constitution is outdated. The whole thing needs to be opened up because they didn't see things. You're calling the wrong show, man. You're calling the wrong show.
Have you heard Glenn talk about Woodrow Wilson? We need the Constitution opened up because it's outdated?
You're calling the wrong show. And I really recommend you don't call Mark. Mark will end with, there! I said it! No, don't do it.